Good afternoon.
I'm Dr. Mia Janae, President of the Hope Club.
And I am Elaf Yusuf, the Vice President.
Okay, very nice to meet you guys. I'm Erin Baptiste, Dr. Erin Baptiste. I'm the Special Education Director for our Special Education Department here at the Dekalb County School District. Nice to be here.
That's great. This week as we kick off our Exceptional Children's Week, we celebrate the unique talents and abilities of all children, those with exceptional needs. May I please ask you a few questions?
Absolutely.
We know special education covers a lot of different needs. If you could give one example of a student success story that really highlights the impact of your department, what would it be and how does it inspire you?
Okay, so this is, it's an easy but a difficult question all in the same. And I say that because there are so many success stories, just really in the camp of our students with disabilities, special education. But if I had to highlight one, like I said, this is incredibly difficult to do so. One that really stands out for me, and I think it would resonate with you guys as well. We had a student at Tapestry Charter School, which is a DeKalb County charter school. She was a student with a disability. She had a visual impairment specifically, and I'm not going to name the student for privacy reasons, confidentiality reasons, but she has since graduated, and she graduated valedictorian from the school. So I just want to share, that's a huge success story, and that was, I think it may have been the year before last she graduated. Which was a big deal, for her family. She was a really bright, student, and that was an extreme success, for our department, for our school district, for her family, because she did get, adequate access to education. She worked really hard. With the supports of special education, she was able to, achieve such, high feats. So that is a success story among many. That is one I just want to share with you guys.
That's very great.
Perfect.
Second question is, what's one common misconception about exceptional educators you'd like to clear up for our viewers?
Okay.
How can we as students be better allies to our peers with diverse learning needs?
So those are two questions. Yes. So common misconceptions about special educators like teachers?
Yes.
Okay, and then you all want to know how you all can be better allies to your peers who may have some type of disability.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'll start with the first question. So a common misconception about special educators. There's so many. But one that I think would be most appropriate right now, a common misconception about special educators, special education teachers, is that they're there and their primary, responsibility, job duty is to support students with disabilities. But they're also there, to support all students. And a lot of the specially designed instruction is what we call it for students with disabilities. Accommodations and the things that are done in classrooms for students with disabilities actually do benefit all students. So whenever we have small grouping and groups in classrooms where special education teachers are grouping students, and it's a heterogeneous mix, which means it's special education students and general education students, it's a good opportunity for general education students to capitalize, right? To gain from some of the things that are done for special education students, because it will then help you all understand things better or differently during the instruction. So that's not a misconception, but it is somewhat a misconception because I think we don't necessarily globalize some of the good practices that we do for special education students, so you all can actually, benefit from it. And one way you can continue to be a good ally, because you're being good allies right now with this interview, taking the time to learn more about, students with disabilities and the work that we do in the district. So continue doing what you're doing. But the biggest thing to me is to recognize, right? Recognize that students with disabilities are not defined by their disabilities. What we want to do is see them as people first. We see person first. That's why we say a student and then a student with a disability. So it's the person first, right? So that's the biggest thing for you all, to make sure that you're carrying on that message to your peers, that our students are students, just like you all are students. You all are people first, and then they might have some type of disability, and we all have something. I do. I can speak for myself. We all have something, so we just want to make sure that that's just a unified message, that we see them as individuals. Okay, so continue to do this good work.
Question 3. How many students are interested in careers helping others? What skills or experiences do you think are most important for someone who wants to work in special education?
What skills, is that one question? What skills are most important for someone that may want to work in special education?
It's like 2 questions.
Say the first one for me again.
How many students are interested in careers helping others? What are skills or experiences do you think are most important for someone who wants to work in special education?
Okay, so the first question, unfortunately, I don't know that I have an answer to how many students are interested in working in a career to help others, but my hope is that it's a high number. That's a lot of students, because that, social services and, working, in the human services capacity is a big deal. And we need more people, going into that type of work. It's very often, it's not a lot of recognition, which we don't get into it for the recognition, but I understand it's not something that a lot of people tout, and young people, as a as a profession that they're interested in. It's not the most lucrative, meaning we don't make a lot of money, and it's not, as renowned as other things, but it is very rewarding just in the work that we do every day for people, particularly, students that are marginalized or people that have disabilities. Now, I think the most important skill is doing it for the right reason. It's not a skill, but it's a reason. Doing it for the right reason, getting into the work for the right, reasons, knowing that I think that the most important trait, characteristic, and skill, and it's not really a skill, it's just something people have innately, patience, right? Understanding, right? And the ability and the desire to serve. Those are not necessarily skills, but those are characteristics and traits. Specifically to skills, because I do want to answer that question. I would have to say that a person would need to be well organized. It takes a lot of organization, and another skill would be self-motivated. I think that's somewhat of a skill. It can be, and the ability to learn quickly. I think that's important to do this work and multitask.
Question 4. What are the most rewarding part of your job and why?
Doing this right here. Knowing that that this work and the work that we have well over 1,400 teachers in the district. I'm sorry, 14,000, right? 14,000 teachers in the district, and about 1,400 or so teachers that teach students with disabilities directly. The work that's being done is not going unnoticed because of students like yourselves and here at Stone Mountain High School recognizing this week, taking the time, like I said before, to interview and talk a little bit more about what this looks like. This in and of itself is rewarding. But outside of that, just coming in every day knowing that no matter what I do, and I said this to a group of our lead teachers for special education that directly support and supervise special education programming in schools at the beginning of this year, know your purpose and know your why, right? My purpose and my why begins with me personally, and then what resides right alongside that is what's important to me and why I wake up every day, and that is to do something for somebody. If I can leave my work every day or go to sleep every night knowing that I've done something for somebody, either made it better or different, then I've fulfilled my purpose. So that's what's most rewarding, because every day, in some way, form, or fashion, I made a difference for somebody.
Next question is, if you could give a shout out to any group of people who make a difference in the lives of special education students, who would it be?
Absolutely. Special education teachers. Yeah.
Go teachers.
Yeah, teachers, absolutely. I'm in the camera, go teachers. You all wake up every day, day in and day out, and you pour and I'm looking at you all because you're interviewing me for the camera as well for the teachers. Day in, day out, daily, committing time, energy, effort into the lives of students with disabilities. And, without our teachers on the front line, with the support of the district and area offices, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we're doing for our students. So teachers, hands down.
Go teachers.
Yep, absolutely.
What is one thing you wish all students knew about the special education department?
I think I'm going to relate this back to my previous answer, just around misconceptions and what you all can do to continue to be allies. I just want students to know that, we are here, to support the intricacies and the needs of students. But what I do think is most important and what people should know is that everybody has some strength, right? No matter what it is. And we see the student, the individual first, we see their strength second, and then we support, those needs. So I think it's important for everybody, whether it's a student, a teacher, another faculty member, other staff in this school, other schools and around the district, that special education is that support of students, not only their weaknesses and their areas of need, but their strengths as well. And that it does take all of us, right, to make sure that everyone is successful. And specifically our students with differing needs. It's all hands on deck, all in approach. And I do appreciate our current administration with their view, on how special education support is supposed to look. That support that's rallied around that. And I see some major changes that have happened within this school year and on the horizon. So I'm really excited about it. And I think that'll be it. So I appreciate the questions.
Dr. Erin,
Yes.
thank you so very much for
It's
your
my
time.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you for your interview. Is there any last remarks you would like to tell the teachers, students out there? Go ahead.
I don't know if anything like this has happened before. I'm sure it has, because you guys are a dynamic group of kids, students, young adults, soon to be out in the world doing great things as you're doing here. But this was a wonderful experience. The fact that you all have called me in, or anyone else like myself, to do an interview to get more information and to capture this, from breathtaking. When I walked in, I didn't know what to expect, but this has been a great experience, and I appreciate the opportunity. You all are thanking me, but I'm gonna thank you. And with these students, I can tell it's definitely a thing to applaud. So thank you all.
Well, Dr. Erin, this is just a small gift.
Okay, you
So
didn't
we
have to
have
do
to
that, but thank you.
hear-
Oh wow! Y'all have me blushing now. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing, for the information that you have shared with us. Teachers out there, people out there, students out there who didn't know a lot about special education, the special education department. So thank you. And
Y'all gonna have me crying. Wow, I'm getting emotional.